Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, however you're watching, wherever you're watching, however you listen, where you listen. It's the Bet Online Salute to Troy podcast, and we are here. We are back. We had a big, I guess, 4 days. Bunch of news. We're going to catch you up on some stuff that you already know, give our opinions. We're going to talk about what's happened over the weekend, and we're going to talk about our man, Miller Moss. I'm with 2/3 of the tripod, loyal bearded bandit, my man, Ryan Dairu. What's going on, Ryan?
Doing good. The bearded gray bandit, I guess, is what I'm becoming soon. More and more grays every day.
It's all right. Join the club. I told you I got like gray right here, and it looks like
I can't see it though. I feel like mine's way more visible.
Yeah, I got another red one coming back, so I'm happy about that. I used to always be happy about my red hair. So
yeah, it's your Norwegian blood.
Yep, there it is.
Me and you both. So. Yeah, but good, brother. Glad to be here with you as always. How was your weekend?
It was good. We did the whole, like we talked about, we did the whole thing. Did not go to Safari Park, but we did the SeaWorld. Oh, this one went to Comic-Con. It was great. I only had one meltdown from a toddler, and the only reason why he melted down was because he was hungry. We quickly got him some crackers, and then we happened to be in line for food at the time of the meltdown. So the pizza came right away. He low-key down half a pizza. That's how hungry he was.
Oh, yeah.
Full of excitement, Had his pizza, had his water. He was set. After that, he did good. Took a nap in the stroller for a good 2 hours.
That's a success story right there.
Yeah, so we made it work. Knock on wood. Next time we do an outing like that, maybe it works out the exact same way. Who knows? But it was a good time. Can't go wrong with SeaWorld. It's nostalgia.
Never been.
You've never been? Oh, you're from Colorado. That's why.
I mean, I've been here for long ass time. I just, never gone. I need to.
You might as well do it now while you have Mia. Get her while she's young.
Yeah, we did the San Diego Zoo 2 summers ago, and that was awesome. But I haven't done SeaWorld. I haven't done the Wild Animal Park and SeaWorld. We've done all the LA stuff. Like
they said the Safari Park is only good in the winter because in the summer all they do is just sleigh around. It's not
too hot.
Interesting. Yeah,
makes sense. I feel like doing the same thing. So, but
good.
Glad you had fun.
Yeah, definitely. We made it through. Success story. We made it through without a toddler flipping out. So yeah, good deal.
You write a how-to book.
I do not have all the answers. Like I told you with him sleeping, I don't know what happened. I just got lucky, and it looks like little Charlie girl's on her way of being the same way with sleeping. Knock on wood, but I don't know how it's happening. But we just got lucky with sleep. So
you guys got real lucky.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Definitely.
I mean, that's really parenting, right? It's just like I don't know how it happened. I just got lucky. That's 90% of parenting right there.
Just 100% lucky. So now the whole goal is just make them model citizens and get them through life without getting in trouble. So definitely, you know how that goes.
Yes, sir.
So we're rolling in. We had a bunch of big news. Starting the crazy part about it is, so I might get my days wrong. Wednesday, Lincoln Riley goes on stage and says, "We're not done yet." Right?
Yep.
And I think a lot of people are like, "Man, he's still blowing smoke." Instantly, the next day, Erwin Tilmani, excuse me, all my Polynesian folks, if I pronounce it wrong, I'll try my best. Erwin Tilmani, a big hoss out of Allen Hancock College. He's originally from Alaska.
Yeah.
And it says he's 6'8", 340, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think 6'5", like 340.
6'5", 340. So they, and I know a lot of people are going to kill me, so there's a big difference.
6'5", 350.
6'5", 350.
According to huddle.com. So if anyone wants our source.
When the dude from Santa Margarita committed, and he was a big guy, and I was saying he's kind of big to be a high schooler, right? And he could be he could be a tackle. Like they're gonna have to shed a couple of pounds and this and that. And then people were like, "Well, he played basketball, this and that." So my question to that is, where's his basketball scholarships? If he's a good basketball player, where's his basketball scholarships? He should be making a decision. I'm going to play basketball or football. That's the reality of life. I'm just letting people know the reality of life.
You're saying he's nimble, coach. Antonio Gates also played basketball, and he's one of the great tight ends.
I hear what you're saying, but he to me, in my opinion, and the people that I've seen it to, he doesn't move very well. He didn't move very well. He was just a big body, and he's bigger than everybody else in high school. But it's not about him. The difference between Irwin is Irwin goes to Alan Hancock. Alan Hancock runs power. Alan Hancock is known for running the football. They're smash mouth, gap scheme football team. This dude is pulling already. This dude has the feet to be able to be a starter. And if SC went and got him, there's something that he did in order for them to give him a scholarship. Is he a starter? Absolutely not. Is he a great depth piece? Absolutely. Are they going to make him lose weight? Absolutely. Are they going to get him in shape? Absolutely. You're not in shape in JUCO. JUCO is really like semi-pro. They're trying to make it, you know what I mean? Like they're scrumming. And I have a bunch of respect for junior college players. Don't get me wrong. Like these dudes doing whatever they can to get an opportunity, however they can get it. And they're doing whatever it takes. And I respect them for that. Is he going to come in at like the best of shape? Nope. Are they going to get him in shape? Yeah. So he might be 350 now. They might get him down to 320. But if he's able to move, like Alan Hancock linemen are able to move, like I've seen in the past, this kid is a diamond in the rough, and he could be a great depth piece and may be potentially a good starter for next year. He's a great Band-Aid if one of these guys gets hurt and he's able to play. So they're finding a way to protect Miller Moss. I still think he's a front side guy because of it's Division I football, right? He's not a backside protection guy. He's a front side guy. And there's nothing wrong with being a front side guy. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't have him protect Miller Moss blind side. But if you want to run power, counter anything backside weak, this is the guy for you. This guy's going to make it work. And I think this is a great depth piece and a great ad for SC to put depth into their roster. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah. So just so all our listeners fully understand, front side, you're saying you like him at right guard, right tackle, not the left side, where it'd be blind side.
Correct. Cool. And most likely front side is mostly where you run the ball to, right? Because it's easier for you to turn to your power, to your dominant side compared to turning backwards, and you have the ball in your left hand. You want to hand the ball off in your right hand, which is your dominant hand, and that's why you mostly run front side to the quarterback's right side. Just like with passing progression, mostly goes from left to right, unless you bring something backside into a view, and then that's when you get the throw.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, you're going to be doing the coach's corner this season, so just want to get all the lingo for everyone.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
So when you run a backside with a George reverse, like in Remember the Titans, now everyone knows, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a great get, JUCO get, obviously a grinder. Anyone that's from JUCO, it's not going to have the talent level that some of these other kids have, but I mean these are like grinders that just want it more than most, that have been put through the ringer, have battled, have fought. The size obviously is there, 6'5", 350, as we said. So he probably can play all over the line. He played defensive tackle and nose guard and nose tackle as well at the JUCO level. So I'm not saying they're going to play him on the defensive side, but he has done it. Obviously his commitment was on the offensive line, but there's optionality there. But I think too, when you look at recruiting, and I guess you can call JUCO, it's not transfer portal, it is recruiting still technically.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stock. Obviously the player's the player, and they say all the time, like in draft, right? You scout the player, not the helmet. But I think there's something to be said about particular programs and what they produce, right? Like everyone knows, like recruiting in California, if you get kids from Bosco, from Mater Dei, from Centennial, some Long Beach Poly, those top premier programs, 9 times out of 10, those are like really good college prospects that actually play well at the collegiate level. And when you look at the JUCO level, specifically in California, I don't know a ton outside of California, but you look at Riverside is obviously the premier JUCO college. Fullerton's done some good stuff.
Mount
Sac is real good, but I think Alan Hancock is one of those top programs when it comes to historical and just, as you alluded to, kind of what they run and the style of football they play. So in terms of that, looking at the program he's coming from, it's a great fit. He's not a Cali kid originally, like you said, he's from Alaska, but he's been in California. And so he stays, I guess, home in California for this time being, and he'll be a great depth piece, which they needed depth. You look at their offensive line, we talked about it a lot. The front five, or the starting five, is pretty much set. But the depth is definitely question marks there. And in a 12, 13 game season, bodies are going to get banged up, and you're going to need some depth there. I mean, they lost Gino Quijones last year, who was going to be the starter last year. They lost him early on for the season. And then you are playing a true freshman in Alani Noah. So, I mean, depth is good. And this is a guy that's played a lot of football and good depth. So, I mean, zero qualms about it. I think this is a huge positive ad, and one that's bigger, I think, than people might think just because he's a JUCO kid.
And one thing you cannot game plan for is injuries. So
Yep.
that's one of the things. So he's a good piece for we always call it a Band-Aid. Who's our best Band-Aid guys? Who's the guy we could put in and at least take 1 to 100 reps and we won't lose any depth or we won't lose any value. And this is a perfect Band-Aid, especially getting him in it. It's going to be a long time for him to get him shake because he's probably on campus now and he's probably had his first workout today. And, so it's going to take a while, but once he gets there, he'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. But in that regard, you would think he's still practicing right outside of before committing. But when you look at it this way, Coach, like Trojans lose Jason Zamandela, who is their top 2024 commit, offensive guard, obviously from IMG. He is here for 2 months and then leaves, and now he's right. What did he officially? It's one of the Florida schools. I can't remember where he officially committed to. But for this year, based on everything Coach Riley said, Coach Henson said about how Zamandela looked in spring camp, for this year, obviously the future, he had a bright future, but for 2024, like this is an upgrade because
right.
Taomi will definitely be a better spot starter or depth piece than what Zamandela was going to be as a true freshman coming in. So for this year, they actually upgraded right there.
Definitely. So that definitely works. Let's keep moving on the offense side of the ball. Donovan Wood, he already has his picture on the website. I'm legit looking at it right now. Has his picture on the website. He'll be wearing number 83. For Chaminade High School, Middlebury. So he's already had. That means he's been there for a while. He just officially signed his letter of intent. That's all that is.
You said he went to Chaminade High School?
It might be different Chaminade. It might not be the Chaminade out here.
Oh, okay.
Because he's from Mastic, New York. So it might be a Chaminade out that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be weird being from New York, coming out here for high school, going to Vermont for JUCO, and then coming back out here. But
so I don't think he went to Vermont for JUCO. He went to Middlebury. Right here it says he went to Middlebury, and he was the NESCAC. I don't know if that's junior college, but D2 football. He was a D2 football All-American. So Middlebury is D2.
Okay.
So I'm just making sure. I want to be right. I'm not allowed to get anything wrong or they'll jump on me. So let me make sure I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says Middlebury. Who transferred in USC. Middlebury will compete for playing time. Our receiver as a redshirt senior. So this is his final year to play. This is a big time depth piece. Special teams guy.
And Middlebury is in Vermont. So I just
it's in Vermont. Okay.
Yeah.
Special teams guy. Breather. I don't know why they did this. I never will know why they did this. I'm happy for the kid that he got an opportunity to play at USC. I'm happy that he's going to get his degree from USC. But he's going to have to understand that the role he's in because he just walked into a very loaded room. And the kids that are younger than him are better than him. So he has to be a very good team guy, and he has to understand what he has to do to win and put himself in a very good situation to be a team player and not a cancer. I don't know what they're using him for. I can't tell you what. All I can see is him just in case the depth gets really bad and injuries or a special team filler, but I don't know. They're taking advantage of their scholarships, and there's something that he likes, and maybe he works somewhere. Maybe he's the next Mario Williams. You know what I mean? His last season. I wish him all the best, but I don't know what the signing could do for him.
Yeah.
Hope he's really good for us, and I hope it really works out for us. That's as positive as I could be. What do you think?
Yeah, Ryan. No, I'm super happy for the kid. I mean, great for him. Busted his butt. Another, small school product that's able now to come out West SC. But yeah, I mean, if there's any room that really didn't need any more pieces, it was the receiver room. So obviously there's a plan, there's a reason, I'm sure. But just today, and we got to give a shout out to it was just announced. I don't know if you saw, but earlier today, Josiah Zamora, who's been a walk-on since 2021.
I saw that. He got a scholarship.
Just got a scholarship today, and he's another receiver. So, which he was on the team and he has a walk-on, but now he's a scholarship receiver. So, yeah, a lot of receivers. Neither of which the two that we're talking about right now are going to play maybe at all. But those are locker room guys. Those are scout team guys. I mean, scout team guys are important. As a guy that was integral to the scout team in high school football, because I was not very good. I can say scout team is important. You're getting those ones ready. You're just
a
getting
guy
reps.
to a guy who was integral to the scout team at the University of Southern California. I understand how the scout team, what the scouts team
There
does.
you go. We're people too, So
I got interviewed when we played Illinois. Because I was giving such a good scout team look, and like rivals interviewed me and was like you're doing a really good job. Like you're giving them a hell of a look. Like, why are you doing this? I was telling them, like, I'm trying to win a Rose Bowl too. Like,
yeah.
So
it's my team.
Yeah, I understand. So definitely, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was it. Yeah. So maybe scout team guys, locker room guys, but yeah, happy to Donovan Wood. Welcome to LA.
Maybe it's kind of like pros. It's like the pros. You go and get that vet. Like he's on the end of his career, but it's a vet presence in the locker room, and he's coming from D2, so like he didn't have a full scholarship, and D2 is a little bit different, and you have to work some things to make your whole scholarship work. But
yeah,
just the experience. So
well, and from a chess perspective, strategic perspective, like this room is loaded, but we've said so many times it's super young, right? And so sometimes when you have these young, unexperienced guys, like you need those older guys, those vet guys, not only to keep guys focused, but to like push them. Like, hey, I'm coming for your spot. I don't care if you're better than me, more talented. Like I've been playing in JUCO for 2 years. Like I want to come and take your spot. I've been playing at San Jose State for 2 years. I've been all these guys, these smaller school guys that are vets that have transferred in. Jay Fair coming from Auburn. Like, so if anything, it's iron sharpens iron, as the old saying goes. So I mean, it could be that thought too. Is like, how do we keep our top 4 guys that are arguably the most talented group in the Big Ten, but how do we keep them focused and resilient? Well, let's go get these grinders that are just going to push them every day.
Yep, definitely. No, that definitely works. And he's going to be in a big shock to where he gets free books, free food. Like he's going to get a whole bunch of stuff, not just one switch to last him through the whole year.
Beautiful winters, not freezing in Vermont.
Yeah. And he's
not as good maple syrup though. He's gonna miss out on that. But
only time he's gonna be on the bus is when he plays USC or when he has a home game. But he's gonna fly from state to state. He doesn't have to take bus rides. D2. Let me put it like this: D2 bus rides are tough. We had a school in our conference in South Dakota, 12-hour bus ride
from New Mexico. You had to go
from New Mexico to South Dakota.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. So
D1 guys don't know how good they have it.
Yeah. So yeah,
especially SC guys, like they're flying private to like media day.
Yeah, I saw that they got off the private jet.
Love it,
man. So yeah. So on to the future. Go to the defense side of the ball. Xavier Griffin, class of 2026, committed this past weekend. Was it Saturday? I believe Saturday. He committed, the number 1 linebacker according to 24/7. 5-star commit, 6'4", 210.
Such a big, being that big at that age.
Yeah. I want to say this as positive as I could possibly say it. And we talked about it before, so hopefully I don't come off too brash. I'm happy we got a 5-star commit. I'm happy big star commits are now interested in coming to USC. And I'm happy we're branching out and doing the national recruiting like all the top dogs. I'm happy about that. I don't trust commits 2 years out.
Yeah.
In today's game. Right? And the only reason why is because we just went through this and we saw that it was a leverage play. If this guy is committed to, he's from Texas. Oh, he's from Georgia. I'm sorry. He's from Georgia. Yeah. So we might be okay because we got the number 1 recruiter in Georgia. Nobody's out recruiting Julian Lewis if you want to come to SC. He's the top recruiter. Like, people think he's going to flip. He must. If he does flip, he's a hell of a politician because every interview we see, everything he posts is all in for USC. Not every single thing. We've seen him on some visits and things like that, but for the most part, when he interviews and everything like that, it's all USC. So the top recruiter is out there in Georgia. The only thing that worries me is just so far away, and people are still going to grab at him. And people are still going to match his money. And people are still going to do this and still going to do that. I'm just worried about the leverage play. I'm happy that this happened. I'm not excited that it happened until he's on campus. I will say this, and the rumors going around, I don't know if you're going to say this or not, the reclassification. If he reclassifies for 2025, I'm excited now because most kids are making their commitments right now and they're done. So I'm excited right now because December is close. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we're in August, right? Football season starts on Friday for us. We're in August, and like before we started, what was I doing? Watching film, getting ready for Coach's Corner, getting ready to start breaking down the season. Like,
Yep.
so if he reclassifies, I'm excited. If he's a 2026 kid, I'm happy, and I'm glad we're picking up good guys. But I need to wait and see until the ink is dry. What do you have for it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to add a whole lot. I totally agree. I mean, 26 is so far away. It's great. I mean, it's great to have good news. Obviously, loaded talent. You mentioned the size. You know, it's crazy to think like this kid was a sophomore last season in high school, 15 probably years old, 52 total tackles, 9 sacks, 7 quarterback hits, 6'3", 210 pounds. Like, size unreal. Like, he definitely is in terms of size and production. If he does, like there's murmurs out there, if he does reclassify, he definitely seems ready to make that jump after his junior season and then reclassifying and coming over and joining that 25 class. And if he does, then that 25 class now is getting substantially better. And they're not done yet. So yeah, it's a good get. It shows Coach Henne and Coach Nua putting in work. Obviously now the work's not done. It's keeping him locked in because we've seen Coach Henne work his magic, and then kids with NIL and stuff make other decisions. So if it's a year and a half from now, it's a long time.
Yeah.
If he reclassifies, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah. With the money game, it's a long time. Like, I can't hold my breath for that one. But if it's a December signing, I'm geeked. Mason Cobb's replacement is right there. You know what I mean? Like, we're for sure plug and play. I think that's an LAFB shirt we got to get going. We're not done yet. I think that's a good one. I think we need to get an LAFB "We're not done yet" shirt. Just
I like it.
Just to get going. But no, I'm happy that this is happening. I'm happy that we're getting kids like this, and I'm happy we're recruiting the right kids. I just don't like the timeline with recruiting now. Like, and maybe I need to get used to it. I'm such a purist, you know what I mean? Like, let's focus on what's next. These guys are focusing down the line on what's ahead. It's crazy though, because my wife played softball, Division I softball, and she says like, you commit as a junior and a sophomore, and you're done. Like, your recruiting's done. I was like, really? She was like, yeah, you recruit early in like softball and volleyball and stuff like that, and you're pretty much done. So like, we're kind of turning to that, but there's money involved, and so there's no. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's no loyalty. That's the difference. Like, there's money involved. Yeah. So,
well, for us normal kids that weren't athletes, like, yeah, I decided I was a little later than most, but most kids decided like between sophomore and junior year where they were going to school. Because you take the SATs or the ACTs your junior year, you're usually already submitting and applying by then. So before you even go into your senior year, like you're done and knowing where you're going. So, but yeah, money changes a lot.
Yeah. So I know a little bit of bad news, but this is funny.
Well, quick, all right, before we get to, I think where you're going to go, because this is more online. Because you're going to the other 26 kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll end with that. We'll end with Miller Moss, obviously. We'll get to that next. So, Got to say this because there was 2 back signals that went out, as we like to call them. Mm-hmm. The two fight on. So another commit seemingly happened when Xavier Griffin announced right away. I don't know if it's, I should know if it's for sure, but Jadon Perlott, linebacker, committed to Georgia. He was here this weekend as well, visiting, and he immediately tweeted, I should have had it in front of me. Maybe while you're talking, I'll look for it, but essentially I'll find the real thing, but basically said like all I know is USC or something like that. Like, I'll find it because I know I feel dumb, but basically retweeted Xavier Griffin alluding to like, he's coming too. On 3, did give a crystal ball that he's going to flip. And so we don't have the final word. I've talked to some people, but we'll wait till it's official. But maybe flipping Perlott also from Georgia to SC. So SC's hitting the campaign trail hard in Georgia, which obviously is a gold mine right now.
We got the best recruiter out there, which is Julian Lewis. Julian Lewis, I'm
telling you, bro.
Like, he's recruiting. If you're interested in USC, he's like legit going to talk to you and trying to get you to go to USC. So Julian Lewis, hopefully he stays a Trojan for his full time there and has a hell of a career because he deserves it. I will say this. If the Perlott thing does happen, we're getting a lot better on defense. A whole lot better on defense.
Yeah.
And we're recruiting the right talent on defense. And we just have to hold water for 2 years. We just have to be decent for 2 years because we're going to be really good on defense.
So that
go ahead.
I want you to continue, but I found it. It wasn't even a retweet. So Xavier Jordan announced, and then Perlot posted a picture of him with Lincoln Riley and Xavier Griffin and said, just know it's Go Trojans at Lincoln Riley. That feels pretty like, yeah, I'm coming too.
He's giving some vibes. Now, I will tell you this from a coach's perspective. Here's my only question. Does he have a girlfriend and how serious is his relationship? I'm just saying. Girlfriends are undefeated in recruiting. They are the undisputed. You can't out-recruit the girlfriend. I don't care what anybody says. You can't out-recruit the girlfriend. I've worked hard on kids. Hard. I was with my wife then when I'm on the phone working hard. And she's like, if that kid doesn't come, man, I don't know. I don't know what happens. And then all of a sudden the signing day comes. She's like, did you ever get that one kid that you spent all the time on the phone? Like, nah, his girlfriend decided to go to such and such. So he's going to go there too. And she's like, oh, yeah. It's a different word. It's, the cat is undefeated, but
yeah. Well, hey, now the difference now is he can say, hey, honey, why don't you come with me? Because I'm buying. Like,
you can.
I got 800 big ones to say, let's, I'm making that number. That's not what
the
deal is.
Well, I don't know if the rules changed, but as a freshman, you have to stay on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to hold off for a year. So you just got to make it through the year. But we don't know. Let's put that to the side. But if what I was saying was the defense is getting good and they're building a championship caliber defense. They're building a top 10 defense. The other questions is how long does Deanton Lynn stay? Right? How long does my man from North Dakota State, I'm blanking right now, Mike Ince stay? How long does Matt Ince stay? How long does the defensive back coach stay, right? All those things matter. So those are big questions you have, but at the end of the day, they're putting things in place to become a national champion defense. I was actually thinking about this. Ohio State is considered one of the best teams in the Big Ten, right?
Yep.
They're probably one of the fastest, most finesse teams in the conference. They are the fastest, most finesse teams in the conference. Now you're bringing in two. When you say SC and Oregon, I don't know where you put Washington as far as fast and finesse. I don't know what they're going to do because they have a new head coach who is at Washington and not Arizona. That's why he was at Big Ten Media Day.
Yep. You're right about that.
But I don't think big boy football worked with Michigan, but that was the team that Harbaugh built. Just hear me out. Harbaugh built that team, but he lost to Ohio State a lot before he started winning. Let's not forget that. He's been on the hot seat before he started winning. Ohio State has been a fast, finesse team that works in the Big Ten, right? I know their running game is a little bit more power and things like that, but it's possible. I don't think SC and Oregon's always going to struggle because they're overachieving losers, so they're going to struggle regardless. But like Washington, if they get on that level, they might be slightly successful, but Oregon would just make a lot of noise like they normally do. Oregon is the true definition. I'm sorry about this. Real quick. Oregon's a true definition of a toddler. They make a whole bunch of noise for nothing. That's what Oregon is.
They just needed some crackers in that hot line.
Yeah, they needed some crackers. That's all they need, but definitely. But no. So I think it will work, but they're building a caliber team to where they're going to start to be able to hold these teams in the Big Ten and be a top 10 defense. Top 10 defense wins national championships. So they're going in the right direction. I'm not so worried about how long the players stay at this point. I'm worried about how long do the coaches stay. That's a big question. That's a good question that we have to ask, and hopefully it works out. So if that does work out, what's his name?
Jaden Perlot.
Jaden Perlot.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully Thursday we'll have some official news.
He's supposed to make it. Come on, Jaden. Julian Lewis, if you hear this, tag Julian Lewis in this on YouTube. Tag Julian Lewis. Julian Lewis. And everybody on X/Twitter, Instagram, whatever, tag Julian Lewis. This is the APB for Julian Lewis. He's from Georgia too, right?
Yep.
Julian Lewis. Go get Perlot. We're putting it on you. You've been doing a great job recruiting SC guys out of Georgia. You've been doing a hell of a job. My hat goes off to you. You're a true Trojan, bro, and you haven't even stepped on campus. Go get Perlot. It's all up to you now. You know what I mean? You're a team player, and you're not even on the team yet. Like I love that about that kid.
When Julian gets to LA, well, as of now, end of July, he's still committed. Like at this point, it's looking good. Things can change, so don't everyone all of a sudden. But when he gets to LA, he may be one of the biggest like stars in Los Angeles without ever playing it down. Just based on this like whole recruiting saga. It's like,
yeah.
I'm talking all LA sports. Like, obviously he's not going to be Shohei or LeBron, but he may be like a top 10 athlete before playing it down.
He might be. He might be Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Arch Manning, played 2 downs in his career so far? Something like that. Like, and he's just Arch Manning. I know this is off subject. Arch Manning is going to play 1 season of college football and be a first-round draft pick.
And might not even be a good season.
So that's crazy.
Might not even be a good season.
That's true.
He got paid what, $60K to do an NCAA commercial, and he doesn't even play? He's barely even the second, like he can't even win the second string job right now.
Hey, Manning.
Good
so
for him.
It is what it is.
Take advantage, yeah.
So, just you want to hear a joke? Dante Williams flipped somebody to go play for him. That's a funny joke. Dominick Kelly decided to go play with Dante Williams.
I didn't even think about that connection. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's cool. But we see the product that Dante Williams put on the field. So Dominick Kelly, we'll see you soon, buddy, in the transfer portal. when you want to come on it this way. But we call it a wash because Joshua Holland. And Ryan, I'm going to ask you this question. People have been screaming about this. They've been just cringing about this and complaining about this. SC does not do what in recruiting?
Recruit home. Recruit in California.
The 2026 class for USC has 6 guys right now.
5 total, 4 from California.
There you go. 5 total, 4 from California. 90% of the recruiting class for 2026 is from California. Josh Holland, St. John Bosco High School, committed to USC today. So, Dominick Kelly, good luck to you. We'll see you in a little bit. Josh Holland, welcome home. You get to play in front of your fans. This is a big get. I'm going to tell you why this is a big get. He's a 3-star, which means he has a bunch of upside, right? He has a bunch of upside.
Either way.
Oh, they got him a 3-star. I'm looking at 4-star, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Depending what site you're on, yeah. On 3 is 4-star, but sorry, continue.
Okay, there's upside to this because there's a lot of DBs leaving after the 25 season, right? And we might leave, depend on how some of the guys play this year, they might leave this year too, right? They're also building depth for the future. Lincoln Riley's building for the future, right? And we'll talk about this later. I always prelude to this. This might not be a great season, what we expect, but this will be a competitive season, and we'll see a lot of glimpses. But Lincoln Riley's building for the future. He's putting a defense together that's going to be great. Yes, Lincoln Riley is concerned with defense right now, and he's doing an excellent job. He's recruiting home. He has a kid from home, cornerback from Bosco. If you ask my youngest brother, he's going to say he won't be any good because he doesn't think Bosco kids are any good. We have a vendetta with Bosco. They cheat bad, them in modern day, but neither here nor there. There's no such thing as amateurism anymore.
Public school,
yeah, and right. Poly can't do what Bosco and modern day is doing because if they did, Poly would be on a De La Salle surge. But
I got a story for you off air about Poly versus Bosco. So yeah, I'll tell you off air.
So yeah, but no, Riley is building defense. Josh Holland's great kid, 6'2", 170, and he's going to be a junior. Once he turns 18, he'll gain 10 pounds, 180. He'll get to college. He'll be a 200-pound corner. 6'2", 200-pound corner. You can't beat that. That's an NFL corner, right? Especially with today's receivers. I love the get. I love building for the future. I love the fact that they know that they're going to lose some guys after the 25, and they're just going to plug and play. So they're putting themselves in a very good situation. They'll know the system 2 years in. Great get. I love it. And he's homegrown. Can't go wrong with homegrown. Build the gate around California and get good at it. So the problem is they didn't do it this year, but you never know the plans of the coaches until it starts being put into fruition. And we're starting to see a lot of at-home recruiting. So definitely. What do you got about Josh Holland?
Yeah, I mean, again, 26 is a long way away, but
Yeah.
you got to talk about the strategy and the pipeline, I guess, and that's the exciting thing. Like the player, I think is great. Obviously great from Bosco, but on the same day, and obviously these don't necessarily happen within hours; they just get announced within hours. But the same day, Dominick Kelly flips to Georgia. He goes to IMG. We haven't had real good luck with IMG academies. Maybe we just stay away from IMG.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they commit and bail. Decommits, and then within hours, Joshua Holland announces that he's committing to SC. So I think, everything everyone's been pounding the table for is recruit California. 4 of the 5 kids in 26. Again, it's a long way away, but I will say this: I think you're more likely to retain those local kids in this day and age of these being an arms race than maybe you are kids from Georgia, from Florida, from Texas that not only have, I mean, not saying the California kids don't have everyone coming after him too, but Bosco's 20 miles from SC. It's a lot easier to keep someone like that fired up and excited than it is a kid 3,000 miles across the country. So, it's got to be the right kids. I know that's what Riley said. A lot of coaches say, and people just think that's annoying coaches speak, but it's got to be the right kids. You don't just put a database of where kids are and say that's only where we're hitting. It's got to be the right kids that fit, that are not only fit football wise, but fit personal wise, that fit family wise, and all this stuff. But when you're looking 2 years ahead, it's good to start local and then go from there. So love it. Love to see it. 4 to 5 kids from Cali.
Definitely. So they're doing it. No more complaints. And we're all happy about it. So that works. Let's talk about our roster right now, Ryan. Let's make a big switch and let's talk about our roster right now. It's Miller time. Released today. Maxwell Award watch list. Miller Moss made the Maxwell Award watch list, which
Yes,
I think is bizarre. This might be one of the best stories that we've ever seen. You play back up, 4 years, and then you finally get your chance. You break a bowl record. You win the Maxwell. You win the Heisman. You get a chance to be a first round draft pick. Like, it's so crazy. And I hate to say this, if things don't go right for him, he has a chance to come back next year.
Yeah, it's got 2 years left of eligibility. Yeah,
he has 2 years of eligibility left, so all's not over with Miller Moss. So here's a forewarning: we can't give up on him right now. This might be a 2-year. This might be a 24 game project. But that's a conversation we'll have later in August. But he can always come back. So Maxwell watch list. I think that's great. I think what people think of him, and I think that's what Lincoln Riley said. Like, I could legit call my offense with Miller Moss, and he's going to run the offense compared to what Caleb Williams had to go through. He wanted to freelance, and he wanted to bear everything on his shoulders. Miller Moss is a pocket guy. We were in San Diego when he ran the read option, you remember? And he slid. I was like, see, there's not going to be a lot of read option tonight. Like, this is a different quarterback. This is a pocket guy. I think he's more of a gunslinger, and I like gunslingers, but, gunslingers, gifts and curse. Brett Favre, one of the greatest quarterbacks, one of the most interceptions in the NFL history. I think he has the most interceptions in NFL history. So that's the problem with gunslingers, but they're not afraid to take a chance. And that stuff just rolls right off their back, and they'll go out there and make up for it. So I'm excited. I can't wait for him to win this award. And, the goal is not to have him back next year. If we have him back next year, that means the season didn't go as planned. But I want to see him one and done, drafted one of the top quarterbacks, taken, and have I don't care what kind of NFL career. I hope he's a backup. That's the best position. Backup quarterback is the best position in the NFL, just to let you know. So go be a backup quarterback. You save your body. You practice twice a week, and you're making millions of dollars. Go be a backup quarterback, Miller Moss. You can't beat that. What you got? Maxwell Award winner, Miller Moss. What do you have?
4. And Miller Moss, after playing one game, made the watch list. I mean, it's a watch list, right? There's 60 plus players, I think, on it. But hey, dude's played one game. So that tells you, A, the committee was real impressed by that one game. And B, everyone with half a brain knows any quarterback playing with Lincoln Riley is going to be someone to watch in that season. And so you put it all together, you can do special things. So I agree with you. It could be an absolutely unbelievable story when you look at it. And we're getting way ahead of ourselves. There's a lot of football to be played and whatnot. But yeah, he's just such a good kid. Like, saw him at Big Ten Media Day. I know we did our Big Ten Media recap last week, but we didn't talk a ton on it. But he's a good kid, man. He loves USC. I think that's the biggest thing, is he just loves the university, and he's a humble dude. He's a team first guy. And, you know, he's the guy, and this is not a shot at anyone. This is just the time and present. He's the kind of guy you want leading your program. And if he can statistically have a fantastic year and be in those awards and stuff, then A, that's amazing for him. But B, if he's doing that, I think this team actually will be pretty good too. So all around, I think that's a good thing. So yeah, awesome to see though.
No, beyond awesome. So that's great. I can't wait to see this move forward. Like you said, anybody who knows Lincoln Riley and understands Lincoln Riley knows he could do something great with quarterbacks. Cliff can too. Like, I'm not going to put it past Cliff, but Lincoln might be a little bit better. But nobody's better than the Pirate. That's why Lincoln Riley came on and the first thing out of his mouth was said, Mike Leach should be in the College Football Hall of Fame. Like, nobody's better than the Pirate. So that whole tree is great. And I'm happy. I'm just happy to see that he's recruiting defense. But Miller Moss, it's going to be a Miller time, man. I can't wait to see this happen. Friday, season starts. They check into camp, start to get those reps. Next thing you know, we'll be prepping for LSU. I'm already watching LSU film, right? I showed it to you earlier today. So we're getting ready. We're getting going. I like what Brian Kelly does. It's going to be a big challenge for Deonta Land, but we'll get into that. I like what he does with the eyes. That's interesting. I want to see how deep it goes with that. So definitely.
I mean, there's so many fun storylines of that game because both, literally LSU, I think quarterback's name is Garrett Neismeyer, I think Neismeyer is his name.
Yeah.
Same storyline. I mean, he was the same class as Miller Moss, highly recruited guy, and then, you know, didn't start right away. And then Jaden Daniels transfers in, but he waited it out, didn't transfer out. And now he's the starter. So you got two guys essentially starting their first games. They both played the bowl game. Neismeyer played his bowl game as well and played really well. So a lot of guys with one essential game under their belt coming in with now the team. They waited it out. Like, the storylines are going to be great. It's going to be great.
So let me ask you this question real quick, because you're more in tune to this than me. How active was LSU in the portal?
Pretty active. I could find out real quick how many players. But I mean, all those big schools, I mean, had 20.
Well, Brian Kelly at one point was saying that he's not a portal coach. He doesn't want to be a portal coach. So I want to see if he bought in. There was a whole article this year talking about how he doesn't want to be in the portal. Like, he's not big on the portal and things like that. I was just seeing if it was just lip service or if it's legit.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find. So they did only have 9 transfer in this year, but they had 27 transfer out.
And the rest are high school.
Yeah, so 27 transferred out. They only brought in 9 transfer portal.
That's not a good input-output. That's not how that's supposed to work.
No.
You're supposed to input more than you pull out.
Yeah, or at least, like, keep it relatively close. Like, that's a pretty big discrepancy there, 9 and 27.
So that leads to some questions, too, that we're preluding to some stuff there. So we got a lot to talk about this August. Well, August is Tuesday, Thursday. Oh, our first show is August.
Yeah. And I will be on Wednesday.
Cancun.
No, not yet. That's later in August.
Oh.
On Wednesday, I'll be at USC Media Day. So we'll have lots of stories to talk about on Thursday because we get to meet, I think, 47 players and coaches.
That's big time.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff to talk about. And Thursday might be busy. Thursday will be more than a 21-minute show, I think.
That's cool. Let me ask you this question right now. Are you going to podcast from Cancun? Can we get one show from Cancun with the beach?
I would love to. My wife would possibly kill me, but
can I ask her? Can we just get one show, please?
Yeah, you can ask her. Absolutely. I'd rather you ask her than me.
One show for an hour. That's all I want. Can we just get one show? I'll get 1 hour of his time. That's it. No more, no less. We'll be on time. And with the beach in the background.
I'd rather you ask than me. So that sounds great.
And you're 2 hours.
I'd love to podcast from the pool side.
And you're 2 hours ahead. You'll be on Central Time.
Yeah.
So that I'll ask her.
Which is worse because that means to do it at a time that works for you guys will be like 9 or 10 p.m. for me. But maybe that's better. Maybe they'll be going to bed. I don't know.
Yeah, so it might work out.
And I'll just be like, yeah, we just need to do a late one. We'll do like midnight poolside.
There you go. I'll send you a cigar too. You gotta have a cigar. You gotta have a cigar and Reposado tequila. You gotta have the brown tequila. That's the good one.
Reposado? Yeah.
Reposado. Yeah. Always say Reposado. There you go.
Yeah, Reposado's great. So I'm for it. The show never stops. All right. The Salute to Troy show never stops. Never sleeps.
Well, that's all we have for everybody today. Ryan, you got anything else before we pull up out of here?
No. Fired up. I mean, I think good weekend. We talked about it last week, but a lot of positives from Big Ten Media Day. We'll see more on Wednesday for USC Media Day, but USC is kind of the talk of the town, and you know they're the shiny new could be prom queen at the dance that everyone's just kind of mystified about, right? Like there's 4 new teams coming in. Oregon, obviously, is a lot of hype with recruiting and NIL, but USC was clearly like the belle at the ball that everyone like really wanted to dance with at Big Ten Media Day. So, you know, what does that mean on the field? We'll see, but it's fun to at least, you know, from a media perspective to see that. And, you know, Lincoln Riley, I think had a great week, and then we've seen him go to work and get recruiting. We got some NIL news that we're going to talk about soon that could be good on that front. So we got some big things in the pipeline.
You know, I'm excited because this is what I've been doing. I've been waiting for the season to come. Just to let you know, Ryan, just to get started, this first play should have been a touchdown. He should have gave the power. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
He should have gave the power. So
especially against Colorado.
Yeah, that was gonna go. He should have gave it. But yeah, I've been watching film. I've been watching. You saw me. I was watching LSU when I came on. So we're getting ready for the season. I'm jacked up, man.
Last thing I'll say, Coach, my last monologue. I was thinking about this earlier today. This is not an excuse for last year. Lincoln Riley's a big boy. He's a big time coach. Everyone knows how much money he makes. So this is not an excuse for last season.
I don't care about the money. I'm tired of people complaining about the money. Like that's what everybody makes.
Yeah, exactly. I could care less about the money, but I'm not making excuses. But there's a lot of times because everyone brings up, and this was brought up. I was thinking about it because this was brought up a ton during the week in Indy. Is like, does he care about defense? He's never had a good defense. Like, how could you see what you did in 22 and bring that back for 23? All valid.
I was about to say those are valid. We were asking the same thing.
Exactly, as we should be, and absolutely accurate. And 23 was abysmal, and it falls on his shoulders for what he brought back in Alex Grinch and that staff. So this is not an excuse. This is just more a premonition or a thought bubble of just kind of life in general. There's a lot of times when great coaches, great players, accountants, dads, anyone in walk of life, where if you are still having enough success doing something, it's hard to divert from that, even if there's red flags that tell you, I should probably try something different to get to that next level, right? Lincoln Riley, 3 playoff appearances, no actual championship appearances, but he had the playoff experiences. He's had the 3 Heismans. So there's something in your head. Maybe it's like, well, we're so close. Why would I change everything when we're so close? We just need a little bit more to get there. And then the wheels fall off last year. So then you have that moment, right? When push comes to shove, whether it's a dark moment, whether it's the worst impact where you say, okay, you wake up, right? And you say, all right, I am the problem. Like, this is on me. I need to change in order to get there. Had that moment, middle of the season, made the change, and now he's brought in the staff that clearly, I don't care who you are, everyone believes this is one of the best staffs. And we got to see on the field, but everyone on paper, this is a phenomenal staff.
Well, they don't play. They don't play. Let's remember that. They don't play. So,
they do, yeah. But I liken it to like anyone, here's like a dumb example, but everyone's probably done this. Not everyone's gotten a DUI, but everyone's probably done this, right? Everyone has a couple drinks and drives. And you kind of do that until you get caught, right? You have some drinks. Oh, I'm good. You drive. Don't think anything of it. Because guess what? It's never really affected you. Like, yeah, you know in your head, I need to be safer. You know in your head, things could go wrong. But if nothing goes wrong, you keep doing it. Boom. Get that DUI, spend that night in jail, pay all those fines, and then you say, wake up call, time to make the change. Most people, not all people, most people make that change and do it. So Lincoln Riley's wake up call happened last year. And we're seeing in the off season, again, it really doesn't mean anything. I think I'm just kind of fired up. But he had that wake up call and he's made all the correct choices since then to set them up moving forward. Now we'll see if that progresses and continues and it happens on the field. So there's my soapbox last monologue for the show.
No, you're good. That's a good monologue to end on. And he did what he's doing what he have to do. And he's where he wants to be. It was his choice to come here. And he said this is going to be a competitor for college football. And so he's doing what he needs to do to become a competitor for college football. So I definitely agree with you. I definitely enjoyed being on the show with you. We pulled a good one out. Thank you, fans, for watching. Thank you, fans, for Ryan. Thank you, Ryan, for joining. How about we do it again on Thursday? How's that sound? So fun. Let's do it again on Thursday.
I'll be here.
All you guys, this has been the Bet Online Salute to Troy podcast. You guys know how it goes. Live free. Fight on.